The movie opens with a captivating scene of a young girl named Claire on a run by a beautiful river, and then proceeds to take a refreshing shower afterward. She quickly gets dressed in her uniform and runs into her stepmother Maud at the hotel pool, who reminds Claire angrily that she forgot to add apples to the fruit bowl. Claire is employed at the family hotel and is learning about the family business and talks to Maud's new boyfriend Bernard, who seems to like her. Afterwards, Claire returns home and goes to bed, but can't seem to sleep. The next morning, Claire is on her usual run when she spots a man playing the violin beautifully by the river and stares at him, entranced by the music. She continues on her run, but suddenly a car pulls up and she gets grabbed by a mysterious person. The car goes down a windy mountain road. Then, it's seen that her kidnapper was Maud. Maud loses control of the car and crashes in the woods. Claire sees her opportunity and escapes from the trunk, running away into the foggy forest. Claire gets lost in the fog, and when she was looking around, she hears a gun clicking behind her. It was Maud, pointing a gun at her face, ready to shoot. A gunshot is heard, and Claire falls in the forest. Claire wakes up in a mysterious bed, in a room she doesn't recognize. A man walks in with food and medicine. She asks about her clothes, and he tells her they're being washed. He asks her questions about how she ended up there, but she's scared and has no idea. He comes back and tells Claire his name is Pierre and gives her a shirt. Claire walks out of the room wearing just the shirt. She stands outside and looks at the beautiful mountains. That's when another man, Vincent, rushes in looking for his inhaler. He asks Claire to look for it. He also asks her where she came from, and she tells him she has no idea. Vincent tells her he's the one playing the music and introduces her to his dog. Vincent plays his music to Claire as she watches him intently. Claire is asleep on the couch and is woken up by Pierre. Pierre tells Claire she can't stay here anymore. Claire goes to bed that night and falls asleep. In the morning, she finds Vincent outside brushing his dog. He asks her to go to the vet with them, and they drive over as Vincent tries to calm her down about her situation. The vet checks out the dog and tells Vincent there's nothing wrong, but Vincent doesn't believe him and refuses the drugs. The vet seems interested in Claire. On the drive back, Vincent apologizes about the way things went down and offers to buy her a drink at the local bar, and she accepts. But before they go to the bar, they head to the library to pick up music scores. While there, Vincent introduces her to Father Gilbeau and Charles. Charles is very interested in her and needs Vincent to calm him down. At the bar, Vincent introduces Claire to Muriel, and they drink and have a long talk about their childhood, which she tells him she used to play violin. Back home, Vincent finds a violin and gives it to her. Claire opens her new violin in her room, but she looks out the window and sees Pierre chopping wood with a big axe. She looks to be fantasizing about him, so she goes down and finds him there. He walks up to her, and they kiss passionately. After a long day of lovemaking, they go to the kitchen and have some food with Francois. The vet shows up to the house to check on the dog. Vincent takes the dog to give him medicine, leaving Claire alone with the vet, Sam, and they talk about their past and how they got to this town. That night, Claire is in her bed and can't sleep. She opens the door and finds Pierre watching a movie. She sits next to him and puts her leg on his, trying to get him excited. It works, and they make love on the couch. When they're done, she finds out it wasn't Pierre, but his twin Francois. He tried to apologize, but she wasn't mad. Instead, she started laughing at the situation, which broke the tension. In the morning, Claire goes on a run. She runs into Father Gilbund, riding on his motorcycle. He offers to give her a lift, and she climbs on. They ride down the mountain road to the church. Inside, they start talking about the church and life, and he tells her it's okay if she wants to tell him anything because things are confidential there. She confesses about her sleeping with the twins, and the priest comforts her. Maud is fixing her eyelashes and lipstick in front of the mirror. She looks out the window and spots Bernard flirting with Claire, and she gets jealous. When he gets back, Maud tells him he's late. He tries to kiss her, but she rejects him. They talk about going public with their relationship, but Maud isn't happy anymore, and she wants a break, and he agrees, but he walks away to take a phone call. They make plans for the weekend, and he leaves. Standing at the door, Bernard notices Claire working at the pool. He runs back upstairs and calls Claire, but she ignores the call. He leaves a message confessing that he loves her, but Maud was listening to everything he said. Maud is in town and knocks on a door. It's a psychic that burns incense on her, and they talk. The psychic suggests that Claire has to go for things to get back to normal, and Maud agrees, saying she can send Claire far away. But that's not what the psychic had in mind. Claire must die. She leaves her lying down. Soon, they agree on a plan while they burn a piece of paper. Maud meets with Bernard at the restaurant. He asks her about Claire not showing up for work recently. She lies and tells him this happens often. Maud gets a phone call It's Claire. She hurriedly hangs up the phone, but she still has a nervous look on her face. Maud drives down to the town Claire is staying at. Back at the bar, Claire serves food to Charles, and he introduces her to Clement, his son, who teaches fighting in the city. Claire is enamored by Clement. That's when Sam calls her over and asks for coffee. He looks at her as she walks away. Later at the bar, Sam drinks his coffee and leaves. Maud is smoking her vape as she drives down the foggy mountain road. That night, Claire is dancing with Sam, until another man cuts Sam off and tries to dance with her. Sam takes her back, but the man keeps harassing her. That's when Sam gets in a fight with the man, but he becomes too passive. That's when Clement comes in and kicks the man, knocking it down. Then he awkwardly walks away. Sam and Claire talk at the bar, and he tells her about the reason why he's so shy. On the car ride home, she told him she thought he would be stronger and not so fragile, but she seemed to like that too. They park at a dark spot and she puts her arm on his, and they kiss passionately and make love in the car. The next morning, Maud makes it into town and sees Claire at her new job, but she backs away. Maud goes into the library and meets Charles. She asks him for a tour guide, and he tells her about another beautiful woman who came to their town, talking about Claire. Maud goes to the church and meets Father Gilboa. She tells him she's looking for her stepdaughter and pretends she's worried. They sit down, and Maud tells the priest about the death of Claire's father, so he agrees to help her. The next day, Claire is serving breakfast to Clement and Charles, and that's when Charles opens a book and shows Claire an artist's work and gives her the book as a gift. After work, she goes back home and finds the twins at the table rolling cigarettes. After all three of them smoke together, Claire starts dancing with loud music. This disturbs Vincent, who's trying to practice his piece. That's when the twins carry her to her room. Late at night, she's playing her violin with the twins asleep in her bed. Early in the morning, Maud opens the curtains. That's when her phone rings. It's Bernard, so she hangs up. Claire is on a run, and Clement finds her. She asks if he had a girlfriend, and he told her no. She then takes off running, but he chases after her and tries to pick her up. That's when they fall down, but he gets up and runs away quickly, which makes her smile. Claire goes to the church and tells the priest she slept with yet another man. She was worried about being evil, because she wants this to be her life, but he tells her she's honest and pure. Back inside, she sees Maud. Claire is surprised but happy to see her. She tells her how she found her. Claire tells Maud about the shooting and that she wants to stay in this town despite Maud pleading with her to go back. But they agree to Maud staying for a few days just to see. Maud then says she'll take Claire to her job. They drive on the mountain road but stop at a small spot. Maud asks Claire to check a tire for her. As Claire bends down next to the cliff, Maud was looking to push her. Just in time, the priest arrives to stop Maud. They get back in the car and reach the bar. That's when Maud invites Claire to a picnic, and Claire agrees. Inside, Charles tells Claire about Clement being isolated in his room, so she goes to see Clement while he's training. She tells him everything is fine and kisses him too. She goes back up and tells Charles everything is fine. Charles then asks her about the book he gave her. He asks her if she can be cruel to him, and she feels odd about it. Charles begs her to beat him, so she did, but runs away quickly. When she was riding her bike down the road, Sam finds her and picks her up. He gives her a phone as a gift, but she says no, also rejecting his offer to become a couple. Vincent was cleaning his cello, and he asks her if she's coming to his room to play music, but that makes Sam angry, and he hits Vincent and storms off. That night, Claire plays her violin with Vincent. Maud texts Bernard telling him Claire is alive. Then she injects poison into an apple for her picnic. At the picnic, Maud hands Claire the poison apple. Just as she was about to bite it, Clement shows up out of nowhere. Maud had to stop Claire from giving him the poison apple and tries to get rid of him, but he walks away. Claire then follows him, leaving the apple behind. Claire finds Clement, and they make love on the grass. Maud then calls Bernard to tell him everything about Claire. At a party, Claire dances with Charles, Sam, Vincent, and Pierre. Maud gets 2 drinks and puts a sedative in one of them. She finds Claire and gives her the drink, and this time she's successful. After dancing with her, Maud takes Claire away when the drug starts to take effect. They drive away together, and Maud pushes Claire out the door over a cliff, and Claire falls all the way down. Maud stops to check and sees Claire motionless at the bottom. Maud then goes to the church to pray and light a candle, but her clothes catch fire and she burns to her death. Claire wakes up in a hospital, with everyone coming in one by one. When she woke up, they're all there, looking down at her, 7 men waiting on Snow White. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.